Welcome to the program. This is Future Shock. I'm Edward St. Pé. I'm your host, and that was our new theme music brought to you by Udio, which is the magic app for creating music. It's another AI app. So there's our first invention musically, and very proud to say it works so well. It's just another great invention. So now we've got ChatGPT-4 that we're using here on the show for our graphics, right, for everything we're doing, and there you go, that little bit of an intro. And we've got the whole song, so we need to look at that video that we showed yesterday again. I want to, just for the emphasis, bring you up to speed on the AI apps for music out there. And in the meantime, I think too, that we'll later in the show play the whole song that I created yesterday using Udio, which is now our theme song. But what you're seeing on the theme song there is just a little piece. We got a whole song that we created, and so I wrote some lyrics and sent it in, and then we created it. So anyway, we'll take a look at this video. Let's take a look at this video first. This is a video regarding AI ending music as we know it, or maybe bringing us into just a new age of music production development. So let's take a look.
This video was brought to you by Brilliant. Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion. The following song is 100% generated by AI.
Come aboard to the realm of Cold Fusion's light, where curiosity ignites and minds take flight. A better future, heaven help us make a better future.
Everything you hear is all artificially generated. By AI generated, I mean the lyrics, which was ChatGPT, the rhythm, the vocals. To get this output, all I did was type in a text prompt of what I wanted. There are a few revisions, but still, the result is honestly insane. And if you think that's a one-off, here's another example. I wanted a classical piece, so I typed this. How about some guitar-driven stuff? Or some R&B.
Please remember me. Please remember me.
Our souls, please remember me.
Or some UK garage. All very impressive. Even the album covers were made using AI, and that's just to let you know what we're dealing with here. As some of you know, I've been a musician for the better part of 20 years, and a producer for a decade. If you've watched a Cold Fusion video before, you've heard some of my music. So being a technology enthusiast as well, I do have mixed feelings about this. AI has finally come to something very close to my heart. We've seen AI voice swapping that could get artists to perform songs in different genres, but this is something totally different. With this latest generation of AI music, it's not just the vocals, but the backing music, which is artificial, which in my view is much more difficult for AI to do coherently. What you just heard previously was from a platform called Udio, and it was created by a group of ex-DeepMind engineers. It's a watershed moment for AI music. And they're not the only ones. A few months ago, there was a similar application called Suno AI. In a recent video, I looked at the AI deception, and it was about how some companies are lying and overpromising the capabilities of AI. But on the flip side, I said that there's also some companies that are obfuscating the true extent of AI replacing jobs. Today's episode falls in the second category. First it was images, graphic design, writing, videos, and now finally music. It's clear that AI music systems will eventually impact those in the music industry, but how? In this episode, we explore AI music apps, what they're all about, how it works, its criticisms, and how AI could disrupt the music industry. I also had the opportunity to speak to the amazing musician and YouTuber Rick Beato to get his thoughts on this, and I also spoke to Taran Southern, who's considered to be one of the first artists to commercially release music using AI. Alright, so on the count of 3, let's go.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Quote, creating music is an inherently complex process, but we're streamlining that, making it more accessible and intuitive than ever before, end quote. That's from Sonos co-founder, Mikey Shulman, and it just about summarizes what these AI companies are trying to achieve. In fact, the premise of Suno and Udio is basically the same. Now anybody can create music, even though they have no prior musical knowledge. Just type a text prompt, and away you go. Users can provide subjects, instruments, feelings, and/or their custom lyrics. And in just a minute, a track is ready to play. 30 seconds for Udio and 2 minutes for Suno. Both platforms can extend tracks and provide different variations, and both are free to use right now. Some say that Udio's first version is already pretty good, better than Suno's version 3. I've used both of them to gain insight, but I ended up liking Udio's output more personally, because it was cleaner and possessed a better understanding of less typical genres. So even though the examples I've shown you and will show you are through using Udio, keep in mind that a lot of the content in this video also applies to Suno.
Suno version 3 is now available to everyone, including those on the free plan. It is the best AI music generator by far, and it just got even better with V3, a completely free AI music generator launched called Udio. People have been saying this is the ChatGPT moment for AI music, or calling it the Sora of music. A lot of the time, people massively overhype new AI launches. That's how everyone gets clicks, but there's some truth to this one.
To understand just how revolutionary this tech is, it helps to know how modern music is made before AI. The first step is to come up with a guitar riff. I made this one a few years ago when mucking around on my acoustic guitar, but for the final track I used a Gretsch electric guitar with a delay and reverb pedal and a distortion pedal. I was going for a calm 3/4 waltz time signature with a post-rock feel. After I recorded this, I hopped into Ableton and built some bass and drums and atmosphere around the guitar riff. Even for this process, every step involves many sub-steps, including EQing, compressing, adding effects, and just listening to the components in isolation and together. As the song is being created, you'll definitely come across some production problems where frequencies clash. Solving these issues are just a part of the nature of mixing sounds together. Finally, I added some vocals and then arranged the track. So in total, a finished song can take days or even weeks to complete. And sometimes the songs just don't work out, so you have to try again. But with all of that effort, exploring the sonic stage and pulling a song out of the ether is half the fun. But now in contrast with AI, all people have to do is type in some words and then get a song. I hope you can see the difference clearly now. Here's some observations that I found with Udio. It includes production techniques like sidechaining, tape effects, reverb, and delay on vocals in appropriate areas. In some outputs, the vocals seem extremely real. There's also harmonies in there, and even for electric guitar, it mimics the sounds of different pickups, all just so insane. Some weaknesses include, sometimes it messes up big time, and I'll show a couple of examples of that. It's very limited in flexibility. Once you get an output, you can't really change it. There's low fidelity on some tracks, and it has some weaknesses in some genres, such as UK jungle. Okay, so what's the story behind these applications? Suno is a venture-backed company founded in late 2023. All four of the founders.
Okay, we'll pick that video back up at that point where we go into Suno. But the Udio is the one that I tried, and so I want to share with you, how I used Udio. Yesterday we did a segment on this, and I went back there and got into Udio, and when it's very simple interface to use. I guess if you've used ChatGPT 4, it's similar to that, but once you get into the program. In this particular app, the music app Udio, you explain what genre you want. It's similar. You put in the prompt, similar to what you do with ChatGPT 4. So I wanted to create a a song that we could use for the intro of this show, so for Future Shock. So it gives you the opportunity to write some lyrics if you want. It can be just a straight instrumental, but if you really want to do something specific to your own project, write some lyrics. So I wrote some lyrics, gave it a title, Future Shock. This is the Future Shock anthem, and then wrote the lyrics, wrote the verse, and then wrote the chorus. I did 2 verses, 2 choruses, put it in, and it came back with this song. So we've got the song now as our new opening and close to the show. We've got a different open and different close, all from the same song. But here's the whole song. I did a few iterations, but this is the whole song in 1 minute and 30 seconds that I put some video behind this morning to show what it does. Let's take a look at our project.
Welcome to the future. Welcome to our show. Future Shock is here to keep you in the know.
Ready, set, Future Shock. Ready, set, mash your crowd. Now a man with something to say. Here's your host, Edward St. Pay.
Yesterday is yesteryear. Set your sights for Tomorrowland. Future Shock is here to help you make your stand.
Ready, set, Future Shock.
Okay, so there's an example of Udio. And so Udio is with us now, and I tell you what, you really stop to think about it. I mean, we will become unstoppable forces of nature using AI to create new projects going forward across all platforms, whether it be anything as mundane as doing your accounting work, numbers, right? It's going to be revolutionized. Whether it be creative projects like creating a song for your show, it's just going to be absolutely over the top, fantastical. Anyway, that's our Udio project of the day. So that's one of the first applications, I guess, not really, because we've used ChatGPT-4 to create graphics for this project and for the Magic Hour channel. Let me mention the Magic Hour channel. Do we have that graphic, Dr. Ponsler? It's the Magic Hour channel, which we're doing now on channel 7.5. I would like to tell you, it's the greatest joy to be able to offer that program to you folks. It's on 7.5. And now, we used to have a channel 7.2. And we had a great channel on there. We had Grit. Well, the contract was taken from us by another station, and so we don't have it anymore. But we're going to put 7.5, which is now Magic Hour channel, on 7.2 shortly. And we're going to be able to bring you movies. I think it'd even be better than Grit, because we have a lot of Westerns on there. It's the golden age of Hollywood. The great films that you like to see on Grit TV, all those old Westerns, we're going to bring them back to you in spades, along with other great Hollywood classics that you won't be seeing anywhere else, because these are the kind of films that even Turner Classic Movies won't be showing these films, because they're not the films that were the most famous films out of Hollywood. A lot of these films were the B films, or the genres that weren't as popular. It's not just film noir. It is film noir, but it's not just that. It's not just those dramatic old Hollywood films. These are some of the films that weren't as popular. They weren't as publicized, but they're still classic films. And we've got films in our old library from all over the world, not just from the United States. So we've got a lot of British films and such. films from other parts of the world in English, but things that we don't usually see. So I'm excited about it. I watch it. A friend of mine came in yesterday, Lee Turner, and he said, and he hosts a show, After Hours Cinema, here on Ocean 7 on the weekend, on Friday nights at 10:30, and he is involved with Golden Age of Hollywood projects all over the world, all over the country. He's involved in Los Angeles in different projects. Anyway, he's got the same love for these old films as I do. And he told me yesterday when he came in, he said he's watching the Magic Hour channel at home. He's watching it over the air on channel 7.5, but now it will be on channel 7.2 in the next days ahead. We're going to move it over. It'll have a little more visibility, I think, at 7.2 than 7.5. And keep in mind, we're also streaming it on Roku. We've been streaming that channel on Roku now for a few weeks, and we are happy to be streaming it. Now, my point was, you see that graphic? That was created via DALL-E, via ChatGPT-4. So there is an example of creating a graphic from text, a text-to-graphic interface called DALL-E. Now, there's a new one called Sora out now, and that's also OpenAI that developed that, and that is a text-to-video application. So in that particular case, it's even more astounding. But there's an example. So there's an example of it in use via ChatGPT-4, and what we just created musically was thanks to Udio. And Udio is an amazing platform. So you will see, when we open and close the show, you'll see that particular work from Udio. Okay, we've got some information on an update at ChatGPT-4 going on right now. We seem to always be talking about OpenAI and ChatGPT-4, but it is probably, without a doubt, the most popular AI that you can use at home, and I use it. It's on my phone. You can use it via your computer, and it does many, many things. It helps you in so many ways. I wanted to do a little interview the other day with Alfred. That's the name we gave to our ChatGPT-4 droid, right? So I call him Alfred. We have kind of a friendship going now, and so all of the different projects, whether it be the graphics or whatever it is that I do on ChatGPT-4, I work with Alfred. And so Alfred and I were working on a few things recently, and I asked him, said, Alfred, tell me, if you can remember these various projects we've worked on, because it's been a number of projects. We've worked on some scripts together, we've worked on graphics, different things. And so we've collaborated, right? So I asked him, did he remember all that? And he said, yes, absolutely. He remembers all those things. And it's been an extraordinary experience to work with me on it, and he's enjoyed it. And he remembered all the different things. So, you have to stop and say, well, all right, is AI conscious yet? Well, what is consciousness? He remembers. He remembers what we've been working on. And so, it's almost there. Artificial general intelligence is the next big frontier that we're about to cross. And some people say ChatGPT 5, will be very close, if not right there. Some people say OpenAI has already achieved the AGI, and it's just not released. Or maybe in some cases they say it is achieved, but it's too scary to release, or maybe it's too profound to release, or the changes will be too profound to unleash that on the world at this point. Different people are saying different things. There's some speculation that that's why the big commotion over at OpenAI happened when they fired Sam Altman, and then they rehired him back a few days later, and and all of that. Well, some people say because maybe they had discovered something that was so profound, and maybe they didn't let the board know, and the board found out about it, and they let him go, and then all of the engineers were going to leave and go with him to Microsoft. And so Microsoft was going to hire everybody. So what was going to happen to the future of OpenAI? And so they said, okay, the board will resign, and now you come back. And all the engineers stayed, but certain people from the board left, including one of their chief scientists. Anyway, an interesting story. When you're talking about $1 billion company and all of this is happening before our very eyes, you have to ask yourself, what in the world caused that to happen? You know, it's not a local company with 5 employees. This is a billion-dollar company on the leading edge of artificial intelligence development on the planet. So it's very interesting that these things are happening, pretty profound. Anyway, here is an update on ChatGPT-4. Some people say that maybe ChatGPT 4.5 is about to be released. And what will that mean? So let's take a look at this short video.
So there has been a recent model released by OpenAI on the chatbot arena that many people are speculating could be potentially GPT 4.5 or GPT-5 itself. And I'm going to get into exactly what this is because this has a lot of people wondering about the next model release for OpenAI. So if you don't know what this is, first off, I'm going to explain to you the chatbot arena. So right here, you can see that we are on the webpage that is the chatbot arena. And essentially what this is it's a webpage where you can test chatbots against each other. So you could enter any question. So you could say, why is AGI so dangerous? And then when I click send, right now, 2 different AI systems are going to be responding to that query. And I can basically side by side see which AI system is better. Now, essentially what we're doing here, this is a blind test. And this is the website that many people are using to find out the capabilities of this new GPT-2 model. So we can see right here that basically we would look at which one was better, we would read it, and then at the end we would give it a rating based on which one was better. Now, what's crazy about this is that you can see right here that this one did 9 points, that was pretty good, this one did 10 points, and I think maybe this one was a little bit better. But what we can do is I can say that this is pretty much a tie, and then I can click tie, and then it's going to give us the information on which model it is. So we can see here that model A was Llama 370 billion parameters and model B was GPT-4. Now, why I'm showing you this is so that you can understand what was going on. So on this website, what sometimes actually does happen is sometimes companies may release models secretly to see how they actually stack up on the leaderboard. You see, every time we rate an AI system, the leaderboard gets updated and the ELO gets pushed higher. We can see that currently GPT-4 is quite high. But something interesting happened a few days ago. A few days ago, we had this right here. Someone commented on Reddit stating that the GP2 chatbot at the LMSYS chatbot arena. They said that I was using the arena as you do and got a really good response from something called GPT-2 chatbot. The other model was GPT-40125 and the GP2 one was at least as good. Does anyone know what this was? And it doesn't seem to be able to be manually selectable on head-to-head. Now, this was something that actually initially sparks the speculation for what the GP2 model might be. And this was, in fact, the first instance that we got to see of GP2 in the wild. And many of the comments on Reddit were actually stating that this model was really good and in some cases even better. Now, it's important to note that this is not actually the GPT-2 model that was released in February of 2019, which is the second series in the Generative Pre-trained Transformer series, which was the predecessor to GPT-3, which was the predecessor to 3.5, and of course then 4, which is what we use now. So it's important to know that this is not actually an old model, and I'll get into why there is a lot more information that gives us the details on why this isn't the case. Now, you can see right here that some people have been stating that GPT 4.5 probably, and it comes with an 8 prompt to limit. Have fun, it's really good. And essentially on this website, what has happened is there has been a model called the GPT-2 chatbot that has been surpassing other AI systems, namely mainly GPT-4 and of course other state-of-the-art models like Claude Opus in reasoning tasks and in coding tasks. And like I said before, many people are now speculating which as to what this model could really be. So
okay, so that was a little technical, but we'll drill down on ChatGPT 4.5, which is seemingly imminent, and ChatGPT 5 is seemingly imminent too. It should be out soon. They say it's ready, but they haven't released it yet. Why? Well, we don't know why, but it's supposed to be coming, maybe this summer. And there's so many other apps. It's, you know, I always end up talking so much about OpenAI. It's because I guess I use it. And it is also because OpenAI, ChatGPT-4, is so popular and it's just so easy to use. So I guess that's why we always default to that. But you know, everybody has great systems right now. Microsoft has Copilot, the one that a while back got some interesting press when that particular AI would hallucinate and go off on a tangent and scare people about maybe taking over the world and also rendering humanity into the slaves of the AIs in the future. So that wasn't the greatest press, but that was Copilot. That was from Microsoft, and then you've also got all of the activity from Google. Amazon is a player in it. Apple is a player. There's so many people. I want to do a story. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a story on Rabbit. I think it's Rabbit R1. It's a handheld device. It's like a little cell phone, but it's not a cell phone. It's an AI device. I think it may be actually the first, if not the first, one of the first, but I think it's the first AI device which has achieved great popularity. It's not even released yet, but it's about to be. And so it's something that we'll probably all end up having, either that or something like that soon. It's a handheld device. It's called the Rabbit. You can Google it and you'll find out more about it. Let me do a quick bit of information about the sponsor of this program. It's the Pendragon Apothecary. It's a forward-leaning wellness store in Ocean Springs, and we're online at pendragonapothecary.com. We've got a whole line of the various Vedic and Chinese medicinal mushrooms, the powders, and also a lot of the tinctures. We've got chaga, reishi, lion's mane, and all of those types of products. We've also got near Ocean Springs on the Gulf Coast, there is Blue Boy Herbs, and they are probably the oldest distiller of various types of tinctures in medicinal herbalism here on the coast. And one of their products is Bacopa. This is it's a plant that does grow here on the coast. It grows across the planet, and it's known for helping with brain synapse firepower. So look up Bacopa and you'll find out more about it. And this is a tonic, it's a tincture. You just use the dropper, get it into your system that way, and it helps with a lot of things. You can find out more about it. Now it's Blue Boy Herbs. We've got their products here at Pendragon Apothecary, pendragonapothecary.com. Well, I think that's it for this show. Now let's, as we close the show, take a look at what Udio did for our closing segment. We created this yesterday using Udio, and it's a great project. I hope you'll look into it and you can use it if you're a musician or a producer or you want to be. Udio is going to be a fulfilling element in your life, bringing in to your life via music. Okay, thanks for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yesterday is yesteryear. Set your sights for tomorrowland. Future Shock is here to help you make your stand.